Okay. We should be recording right about now. We're live on YouTube with a completely different setup than I've ever used before. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. I'll discuss it in a couple of moments. I guess for the one person that's in here, in case somebody watches this on the replay in the off chance, I got rid of my second monitor completely. It's like gone in storage. I only got one screen. I'm using my 10-year-old MacBook once again to monitor the chat and to actually do the stream so that I don't have to have any web browsers open on my computer. So that's what's really, really cool. Best topic. What about Marvel Offline? I have no idea what you're asking. I can't answer you if you don't ask a proper question. Marvel Offline? Mm-hmm. What are you asking? Am I going to play Marvel Offline? Did you see my video on it? Is that what you're referring to? You have to elaborate. I don't like to assume what people mean. All right, while we wait for that, I am going to do a small test, like I said, for a couple of minutes while we wait. And I'm just going to jump directly into this with one screen. It feels so damn weird, but yeah, it might be for the best. I have no idea what you're asking. You're on the verge of getting the boot in the rear end. Answer what? I don't know what you're asking. I can't read your mind. I mean, I can start guessing, but I tend to do that and people go, no, that's not what I meant. So now I'm asking, what about Marvel Offline? All right, while he maybe finally gets back to me, I am simply going to pick a truck, nothing too complicated. We're just going to drive it and I'm just going to test my computer. Yo, King Jones, how's it going? So again, what's different about the new setup, to recap, because there's a couple of people in here, so I don't mind repeating myself. Apologize if you're going to hear this for the third time. I got rid of my second monitor. Running a second monitor and extending your displays can use up a little bit of resource. Then I'm no longer streaming or like running my YouTube with the browser open on the same computer that I'm gaming on. I'm running it on my MacBook. And that's alleviating some of the stress off of my computer. And it seems to be doing, a bit of justice. Now, yesterday I did with the MacBook for the YouTube, but I still had two monitors. A lot of people will say, well, that won't do much. Maybe not, but you would be surprised how 2% here, 2% there can make a big difference because, to recap from yesterday, I was playing Grim Dawn, right? This is like really important because I didn't know this, and I've been around computers my whole life since the 80s. I was running Grim Dawn and I was only using up like 30% of my CPU. That's like 1/3. And I'm playing and was getting some screen tearing. Wasn't performing all that well. I was still getting 60 frames, but the screen was tearing. I was like, well, let me shut off the web browser and the OBS, the streaming software and all that crap. So instead of using like, let's say 25 to 30% CPU, I was using like 15% CPU. It's still pretty low. Nowhere near like maxing it out at 100. Screen tearing's completely gone. It was silky smooth gameplay. Same thing with running this here. it was pretty good. It made a difference. Now I am streaming at 30 frames for now, because I'm still kind of evaluating and running some different tests. But it seems to be making a difference. So that's essentially kind of like what I'm doing, is sort of like just see how the whole thing's playing out in real time. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I'm gonna sound like an asshole, but I'm gonna say it. The best topic, you're on the verge of getting the boot. Not because you're trolling, not because you're rude, but to be blunt, because you're fucking annoying. You're driving me nuts. I have no idea what it is you're trying to ask. Like I said, if you're asking if it just offlines, it's not a simple yes or no answer. Hello, Raj. Hid hay is day. Hello, Connor. I have no idea what that means. I often, in my streams, tend to get people that say shit, and I have no idea what the hell they're saying. No idea. Well, yes and no. It's the weekend. I mean, it's kind of like it's always been like this, where I just stream whenever. However, I try to stick to a schedule for the sake of consistency. I do try to do that. However, I was cleaning for a while. I tried my new setup. I was really, really excited to try it. So I was like, I don't want to wait another 2 hours. I want to be done by then and maybe resume with my cleaning, because I'm doing some psycho cleaning. But I'll explain that in a minute. So hid hay is day, whatever the hell that means. Even your name is confusing. What do you mean by go street? Yeah, like I said, sometimes I sound like a real prick, but I'm just being honest. If people annoy me or they just don't make sense to me after 5 or 6 times, I give them the boot. I'm just being honest. I just don't have time to have it wasted. I mean, I do. I just don't want my time wasted. Well, the setup with the different screens, I got rid of my second screen. I'm only using one TV. I'm no longer monitoring through a second monitor to make sure that I'm still streaming. I have a thing here on my phone from Elgato. I don't know if you can see this. I mean, it would help if I show it to you on the screen. So that right there, that's my second screen. That's what I used to use a monitor for. So what is that? They're squares. And those squares, I can choose what they do. I can mute my microphone. I can turn my light on and off. I can end the stream, start the stream. I can start recording. All that kind of stuff. It's like a stream deck. People might have heard of like streaming decks or a dock, whatever you want to call it. It's like a little wee peripheral with buttons, and they can do different things. Some big streamers have them. They're not overly expensive. So one with 6 buttons costs about $100 Canadian. One with 15 buttons, about $200 Canadian. And a whopping like $350 if you want like a 32 button one. So this one's a 15 button and it's free. But they want you to pay $30 a year or $4 a month Canadian for like a subscription service. I wish it was a one-time fee. It's literally just the software version of the hardware. It does the exact same damn thing. I can make these buttons do whatever the hell I want. A button could load Call of Duty. You know what I mean? One button could turn on and off, the fancy flashing thing around my webcam. All that kind of stuff. So that is amazing because, again, I can't see what's going on behind my screen. I only got one screen now. So if my recording drops, if my microphone mutes, apart from people telling me what's going on or what's not going on, I can't see what's going on. But I can with this because you could see the buttons at the far right. They're like lit up green, right? So that's how I know I'm still streaming or recording or whatever. If those buttons change, it beeps. I'll be able to tell by looking at it visually. So this has now become my second screen. So I no longer need a second monitor. Again, with a second monitor, when you extend the displays, it does utilize a little bit of extra usage on your computer. And because I have such an old computer and I can't afford to buy one and the whole thing with Alienware went down the toilet, that's where I was like, you know what? Let's just try this and see what happens. So I'm obviously not going to drive this far. This is more of like just for shits and giggles. It's an incredibly long drive. I mean, I'm not going to stream all of that. It's just so I have a sense of direction. Not really. Got school in 2 hours. Had to dope a like first. Sounds good. Well, dope one up for me because I haven't doped up in 20 years. I am done with that stuff for me. But yeah, so it's pretty nice, like I said, using only one screen for my main computer. Not having the web browser open on my gaming computer. Again, it's being done separately from a MacBook. Well, the computer doesn't matter. It's not like I'm trying to flex, ooh, it's a MacBook. I just mean like I have an old one laying around. It can power the web page, YouTube. You know what I mean? I just need to be able to monitor the chat, right? That's the main thing. That's really all I care about. And it's doing that. And it's taking up a lot less room. It's amazing. Now, I know that I'm only streaming at 30 frames, like I said. I didn't want to do 60 frames. I didn't want to quite push it too much. I wanted to see how this felt first. I'm playing at 60 frames, but I'm only streaming at 30. Because, again, that's also an extra little bit of power required to do that. It takes up a little bit more usage, only about 2 or 3%, just in case you're curious. It's not like an astronomical amount extra. But like I spoke about yesterday with the whole Grim Dawn, just that like 7 to 9% that I shaved off, and it went from my screen tearing terribly to it being silky smooth. I may have to cut a few corners in the meantime until I can, get some money together and get a better computer. So that's why I wanted to test a game like this again. Because obviously, if I'm playing on my console, by the way, which I forgot to mention, my console is no issue. 60 frames, the whole thing, no problem. I have zero issues when I'm streaming console. Again, why? Pretty simple. Because a console is powering the game. And then my computer at that point is only doing the streaming. Get it? So I never have an issue with my console. Computer, though, I do. Because if it's trying to do everything, it's just a little too much. So that's essentially the story as to why I'm excited to try this. Because so far, I'm noticing a difference in my computer and how it runs. And I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, so I haven't really watched Justice League. You saw my first video ever. Got to go, but keep up the good work. Thank you. Have fun in school. How old? i5? Don't insult me like that. i3, i5. People with an i3 or an i5 shouldn't be allowed on the internet. It's a joke. Calm down. It's an i7. But it's possible that your i5 from 2021 is more powerful than my i7 from, way back when. Hey, computers cost money, right? Last thing I know, I spent almost $2,000 on this computer. A couple of years flies by, and the next thing you know, it's a pile of shit. So I slowly started upgrading. Like I said, my graphics card last March, I bought a really nice graphics card. And now it's going to be time to build a whole computer from the ground up. Not an i5. I got an i7. You little bastards. An i5. I said my PC is old, not a piece of shit. I know I'm an asshole when it comes to computer parts. I don't understand people that have i3s. i3 is like, what? Me, it's like i7 or get the hell out. Oh, but I can't afford it. Well, then save up your money for an extra month. You know what I mean? Like, it's really not that much more expensive. I'm probably the poorest person you've ever met in your life. And I've always dealt with i7s. Maybe not always the highest end i7, but I always do that just for the extra, like, efficiency and stuff. I mean, look at the problems I'm having now. Imagine if I had an i5, I would have been having these problems 2-3 years ago. It also helps with the longevity of your computer. I mean, I've had this computer, like I said, for like 6 or 7 years. And it's still doing me wonders. I mean, right now I'm on Ultra. I'm running the game at 60 frames a second. I haven't dipped yet. I'm streaming at 30 frames, mind you. I could probably do 60. But I just wanted to do like one thing at a time. 12 years. What? My computer's not 12 years. Well, I'm gonna get whatever... I'm gonna get whatever's like a good price, whatever's in stock. Ryzen, Intel. Really, one's not really better than the other. There are advantages. Like anything, there's pros and cons. It's like Xbox versus PlayStation. I don't care what anybody says. There are pros and cons to both. Plain and simple. What you gotta do is figure out which one of the two has the best pros for you and the better cons that you can deal with. Right? Like I'm talking Xbox, PlayStation there, just to kind of keep the conversation simple. So it's kind of the same thing with Ryzen, Intel. I don't discriminate. I go with whoever's got the better deal, who's got an actual part in stock at the time that I have the money and I'm ready to buy something. If they have a Ryzen CPU and a Ryzen capable motherboard and it's a decent price, I will get it. If they have the CPU but they don't have the motherboard and I'd have to wait a couple of months but they have the Intel CPU and motherboard, I'm probably just going to go with Intel. You know what I mean? I don't really care about the brand. They're both great companies. AMD have come a long way with their CPUs. 10-15 years ago, I would have laughed at Ryzen or their CPUs, but yeah, they've come a long way. Well, I'm not getting the Alienware anymore. That fell through. I passed a credit check. I got approved for almost $4,000, but they wanted too much identification. They were just being idiots. They were being annoying. So I told them to forget it. They were asking me, like, why I didn't have utility bills. Sir, how come you don't have your name on a phone bill, a cable bill, a hydro bill, a water bill? I'm like, bitch, have you ever heard of someone renting before? Your name's not going to magically start appearing on all the goddamn utilities. But I have a driver's license. That was okay. I have my SIN number, but they wanted the actual card. I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Then they wanted a passport. I'm like, I don't leave the country anymore. I retired from flying 20 years ago. Then they're like, what about a citizenship card? I'm like, well, I'm Canadian. I was born and raised in Canada. I never migrated from another country. So I was never given like a status card. Get it? Because I came from here. So I have a birth certificate, I got a bank account, right? I've got government documentation because of my disability. I said you can talk to my worker. Everything's legit. Oh, we can't do that. We can't trace that. You can't trace my government documentation that proves my address and my phone number? My driver's license? You think I'm making all that up? But you don't think I could make up a name on a fucking water bill? What? So that's why I didn't get the Alienware. It turned out that I started yelling at them. And I was just annoyed with them and he just kept asking me stupid questions. I felt like I was being like interrogated by the FBI. Sir, why don't you have a phone bill in your name? Because I don't? Like, how is that suspicious? I saw your video, which was uploaded 12 years ago. Oh, yeah, 12 years ago. Yeah, yeah. Well, because for them, utility bills, supposedly, it's a good question. Utility bills, supposedly for them, it's an easy way for them to track. Chances are you're not going to be paying off somebody else's utility bill. So most people wouldn't fraud somebody else's utility bill. This whole thing had to do with making sure that the real me wasn't being frauded. So, fine, you were able to come up with a driver's license. Cool. You got a utility bill that also has your name on it that further cements what you're claiming, that you're living at that address, so that when we're sending that $3,000-something Alienware computer, that you're actually the one that's receiving it. And the final kicker, and listen, I kind of get it. Actually, I fully get where they're coming from. My problem was they weren't seeing where I was coming from. Sir? I'm like, first of all, I'm not Tom Cruise. You don't need to call me sir. I'm nothing special. Just call me by my fucking name. And they're like, you know, the phone number that you provided us. I said, yeah, we're talking on it right now. Like, you called me on this number. He goes, yeah, but he goes, when we check out your credit report, that's not the phone number that you have on your credit report. I said, so? It's called I changed numbers. You know how many fucking phone numbers I've had in the last 20 years? Like, I'm not one of those people that's had the same number since 1983. I've never had to call my credit bureau and say, yeah, so just want to let you know, in case this is ever an issue, yeah, so I changed my phone number? It doesn't work that way. That's not how it works. Your phone number changes when you apply for credit or you do things that increase your credit, and you move or something like that, and you put like a phone number on file. The credit bureaus eventually get a hold of that information, and then they naturally update it on their own. Now, I don't know how many years it's been, but it's been about half a decade-ish, I think, that I've had the same phone number. My bank, my disability, everything with the government, it's the same phone number I provided them with. But because that number isn't what's with the credit bureau, we're going to need to see some utility bills and some hydro bills. And then when I told them I didn't have that, they were like, what the fuck? They were confused. They told me, that is confusing. And I'm like, I am renting. I don't own my own home. That would be suspicious. A dude on disability, barely making $12,000 a year, owning a home and having a mortgage. That should have been a red flag, and meanwhile they're thinking that would have been normal. So that's why this whole thing to me was just funny. And it was a waste of time because it took about 9 or 10 different reps on the phone. And it took an entire 5 days, an entire business week, back and forth, almost 4 hours on the phone for all this shit to come full circle. For me to just find out that I was doomed right from the get-go. And I kept asking them every day, are you going to need any extra information from me? No, your driver's license is good enough. It's got your picture, your name, your address. It's got everything. And then once we get your banking information, like your transit number and all that for the pre-authorized payments, you're as good as gold. Yeah, no, I was as good as shit. So that ended up being a crock of shit the whole time. I am going to pause the game for a minute because I feel like the chat is moving and I'm not responding. Why were they so serious? Ifrin retracted a message. Those are a lot of male symbols. Are you assuming I'm male? Maybe I'm a robot. Looks like interviewing for FBI is easy compared. Yes! See, those are the kinds of jokes I like. That's what I like to hear. It seems like applying for the FBI and going through their interview process is probably less dramatic than just trying to get an Alienware computer. I mean, heaven forbid, if my phone number... and like I said, I'm being serious right now. I do get where they're coming from. I really do. 100% I see where they're coming from. It's that they didn't see where I was coming from and they weren't willing to budge. You don't have a passport, you don't have a utility bill. I have a tax return form. I do my taxes every year. I claim my YouTube. I got to claim all that to my disability worker. Everything's like recorded. Everything's on paper. It's all official government documents. It all has my SIN number on there, my phone number, my address. But they would rather my name on a water bill than all that. That's the part that I didn't understand. And they were saying it's because we can't trace it back to your name. Actually, you can. I could more easily fake a water bill than I could a driver's license or a tax form return or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? You would think something from the government would be more solidified, would be more like authentic. Would be like, oh, you don't have a phone bill, but you've got like, a disability government, monthly statement with your name on. You know what I mean? Like, I could show them all the paperwork from the last several years I've been here if they wanted to. You can't fake that, right? Like you can't. Plus the phone number, if you Google the phone number, you see my address. It's right there. You can't miss it. It's like right there. You can't fake that. I can't change what the Google search results will show you. You know what I mean? It's almost like they were treating me as if like I could do all these things to manipulate. It's actually easier to manipulate the documents that you want me to provide than the ones I can provide for you. So that's what made the whole thing frustrating, and that it took them 5 fucking days for them to tell me that when I asked them right from the get-go, can we get this going? Oh, yeah, sir, not a problem. Rest assured, sir. Uh-huh. It's not. They appreciate it, but they want the goddamn utility bill. What do people do that are renting? If I had a mortgage and I could afford a home, chances are I could afford a computer. I wouldn't need to finance it. Obviously, that's not always true. I'm just saying that to be a smartass. Anyhow, so that's kind of what's going on. I'm almost done with doing this game. I might play a little bit of Hitman for a little bit. Not too sure how much longer I'll be streaming for in general. Like I said, I've got a lot to do, a lot of cleaning and stuff like that. But I wanted to come on, say hello, test out different setups, like I said, different arrangements, if you will. I can do private streams, but I feel like it might not necessarily be the same as just actually going live. Right? Like actually doing it. Actually like having it stream live. I can preview the window all I want, but I'm not too sure that's quite as intense. This is like the real deal, and so far, I haven't stuttered. So I'm really, really happy about that. So to me, this is like looking good. Because the more I can alleviate stress off my computer, you probably know where this is going, the less I'm going to stress about buying a computer right now. You see, up until a couple of days ago, I felt like I needed a computer right now. And I kind of did, because my computer feels like it's falling apart in different ways. But now that I've spread out the stress level off my computer, and I've done some additional changes to my sound, by the way. Remember, for the few people that are in here, I was saying that I was having sound issues with crackling and all that. Well, guess what? My computer's been on for 5 hours. Am I crackling right now? Did you guys hear it? Did you hear any of that shit? Because I certainly don't. I may have temporarily fixed my computer. I'm still going to need to buy a new one this year. Like this year, I need a new computer. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's not that I want one. It's I do need one. I just may not need one as urgently as I did with what I did today and yesterday. That's why this is a big deal for me. No sound. There you... Whoops. I crashed into a truck. That's okay. Yeah, for real. Yeah, well, I'm only gonna buy an Alienware from you. Where's your utility bill, huh? Where's your mortgage or papers? I want to see your phone bill and your taxes. You know? Actually, true story. This one's a really short story. I used to run a security company. I used to do security, install alarm systems. I used to assist the RCMP and stuff like that when I lived out in the northwest of Canada. You need a good security clearance for that. So I had a really good job when I was really young. I got really lucky because I'm a high school dropout. But I pushed hard to get into the field that I wanted to get into. And can I be honest with you? I had to go through less bullshit doing that. Like, they wanted my fingerprints, but that's obvious. I'm applying for, a certain security clearance level. And I got my fingerprints taken, but they weren't, like, going wild with all the ID and prove me this and prove me that. They just wanted one piece of ID, one government photo-issued ID. That's understandable. And my fingerprints. That was it. That's all I needed. Because that's all you should need. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? So, needless to say, based on my personal experience, it's hard for me to talk highly about Alienware. It's hard for me to do that. And it's easy to see why, right? Like, what the hell? Alright, let me end this. I've done this now for about a half hour. It's good. It's working. That's all I needed to know. We're going to do that. We're going to quit out of there. And the cool thing about only using one screen is everything's here. I don't have to, like, notice how I don't have to turn my neck like that anymore? Because I have such a small MacBook, it's actually on my desk next to my TV underneath my camera. So all I need to do is this. And I can see. You see what I'm saying? You see, this is, and I sound rude like I said, but I just don't understand half the shit people are saying to me. What good jailbreak or bad? No. I feel like people talk to me in code or in puzzle pieces, and I'm supposed to try and figure out what people mean by what they're saying. It's confusing. I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea what the hell that means. Now, that sound you heard there, that's normal. That's just when I boot my PlayStation. That sound is normal. He's talking about consoles. What about it? Jailbreak a console? I don't talk about any of that shit. I don't know anything about jailbreaking consoles. There's only one reason you would jailbreak a console, and that's to pirate illegal copies of video games. I'm definitely not getting into that discussion. I don't even think you can, even if you wanted to. I think the only information I have is the PlayStation 3 version 3.55 is the last known jailbreak that I'm aware of from like over a decade ago that you could do that. Right? Now, there is a bit of an issue, and I wasn't sure if this was going to happen. Give me 2 seconds, and I will fix it. I actually have to close my OBS and restart it. There's a 2-second delay with my PlayStation. Oh, is it? Jailbreaking? Well, I'm sure it's popular anywhere. I just don't think... I don't even think you could jailbreak on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. So, like, last gen, for that whole 7 years, I don't even think you could jailbreak. I don't even think that's a thing. Like I said, the last time I heard of it was back in the PlayStation 3 day and back in the Xbox 360 day. People used to be able to spoof the DVD player or something like that so that you could just burn games and play them. But man, that was over a decade ago. Like literally. That was a long time ago, like 2008, 2009 or something like that, if not a little bit before, like 2008 even. I haven't heard that word in so long. Yeah, but I don't think they're PlayStation 4s and PlayStation 5s, no offense. I don't think they would be unless they're like fake ones or something. But give me a second. I do have to temporarily close my program and then reopen it really quick. Well, then I Irfan should be talking to you then. But no, actually, he shouldn't because I don't want to talk about that stuff in here because that shit's highly illegal. But yeah, give me a second. Like I said, there's a nasty delay. Yeah, I'll be right back. I just have to close this and restart it. We should be okay. There we go. Am I up and running on your end? Bangladesh. Cool. See? It's instant now. There's no delay. See? I just had to close it. Now there's no... Anyways, that happens sometimes. That's normal. It's not a glitch, really, or anything. Sometimes I have to turn on the console before I turn on my streaming thing. If not, I just have to shut it down like you saw super quick. Just kind of replay it, refresh it. And then everything's good to go. Yeah, so we won't talk about how we can get them for obvious reasons. But in your country, I'm sure it's not illegal to talk about this. In your country, you can seriously buy like a jailbroken current PlayStation or Xbox so that it allows you to, uh, you know, play illegal games on it. Like it allows you to just, huh, that's wild. I'm only asking because I'm curious, like how the whole thing works, but I don't want to make it look like I'm asking because I want to know how to actually partake in it because that's bad. And like I said, I've heard of weird things with streamers talking about stuff and then people getting the wrong impression about stuff, right? And then what do they end up doing? They get like a strike or they get in trouble. That's why I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to make it look like I'm actually interested because I want to get my hands on one. I have a PS5, you know what I mean? I'm good with buying my games with the money I make on YouTube. So, but I have to admit, oh, the free games are okay. Yeah, because I was going to ask, not so much not where, but more how is the proper, not where, because that we won't get into. But I was going to say, unless the games are already preloaded on there, how are you just going to download these games? You know what I mean? It's not like you can just Google Hitman 3 PS5 bloop. You know what I mean? Like you can't do that. Yeah, bad internet, eh? I tend not to like contracts too much on stream, to be honest. It's just usually not my thing. I like doing things that I'm a little bit more familiar with. Minimax, I don't even know what that is, to be honest. What's all this Minimax shit? And furthermore, to be perfectly honest, that's a whole series. I want to see two for a second because it shows a weapon. If there's no like weapon, to be honest, like if there's no like, oh wow, look at that, you know, kind of thing, I tend not to bother with it because then there's just no incentive for me to do it. See featured. Oh, so you can unlock. Okay, see featured contracts. If you unlock, if you complete 5 featured contracts, Even though it says 0 tier, you could get a handyman wrench. Okay, see? Complete 5 featured contracts on locations Paris, Sapienza. You could unlock the Ukrainian tuxedo. Yeah, I kind of figured you would get some stuff. Yeah, see a hobby knife. If you do those contracts, measuring tape, a gold. Oh, gold coin. Yeah, you don't even see the coin you throw, anyways. Blue flamingo suit, toolbox. Yeah. This one doesn't even show the reward. Okay, breaching charge. I have that weapon, but the white one. DAC gold cover. I have that one, actually. I have that weapon from an escalation contract. Minimax is contracts. Hello, Michael. How's it going? Public contracts. Sadly, my one is not jailbroken. Cassier has most played jailbroken, right? PS5 rival more non-jailbroken gamers. Yeah. DAC gold. That's weird. I have that weapon. 30 effing featured contracts? Piss on that. So again, you know what I mean? Like, for just doing this one specifically, let's say it's like, what's the incentive? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not seeing what the point is apart from just having fun. I don't see what's the motivation to do this. Where's the weapon, the suit, the something that I unlock for doing this? Well, we're not going to talk about how to jailbreak shit in here, because that will get your ass kicked out of the stream. We can loosely talk about it because I am intrigued, like I didn't know that it existed to get like an Xbox One or a PS4 from different parts of the world where they're sort of jailbroken and preloaded with games. I didn't know that existed. I didn't. But if we're going to literally start talking like, who do I talk to? Do you have the guy's email? How do we... No. That's where that's not happening in here, right? I'm not going to get in trouble because some other people want to do some shit. Yeah, so that's my main thing with this is I think say featured contracts again. Tier 1, tier 3. I mean, yeah, I just don't get it. I mean, I'll just start one for the fun of it, just to kind of whatever. Briefing. What about the first one? I wanted to do the first one. See? Get a load of this is the featured one. There's 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3, 4 of 5. So we'll start with 1. There we go. 1 of 5. Any disguise, he's got a certain, if any non-targets are eliminated, you'll immediately fail. I mean, I can start it, but I'm just being honest. I'm not really excited because I'm not seeing anything in here that, like a wrench. Like, I don't care about a wrench or a hobby knife or measuring tape. Are you kidding me? A measuring tape is the reward. And then that's it. It seems like that's the big one right there. But I already have that weapon. I botched it again. There we go. Let's do the planning. See? I'll show you what I meant by that. So the coins. Let's do gear. I'll show you the weapon I was talking about that I have that's very similar. See? Right here. I don't know if it's exact. I think it is the same. SMG DAC gold covered. See what I mean? I already have that one. So again, there would never be an incentive for me to do 30 of them. Like none whatsoever. And we'll go with the red, just because why not? And yeah, we'll just start from the standard location. You just load software and firmware into the... Yeah, I figured. Don't want to jailbreak it. My Pro is still working good. And I don't need a lot of games. I buy one or two. Yeah. Sometimes they put a chip in the console. Yeah, that's what they used to do with the old... With the old Xbox 360s, there used to be a thing where you would flash... You would flash the ROM or whatever, the DVD drive. And it would bypass the security so that it would read pirated discs. So that it would just let you play them. Yeah. Mass Effect. Yeah, like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, yeah, and 3. Those were easily, you know what I'm saying? Easy to do some of that stuff. So again, with this, is this an... Yeah, it is an illegal item. That's why I can't just carry it with me. Am I allowed to switch outfits? It would help if I read that. Wear disguise. Any disguise. I just can't kill anybody else, but I can knock them out, strip them naked. It's all optional. Eliminate using a falling object. But again, it tells you that it's optional. Well, if it's optional, then I'm just going to kill him the way I want. Why am I going to go out of my way trying to make it complicated? If I don't have to, right? Oh, right there. That's our target right there. Whoops. That's arousing suspicion from everybody. Yeah, it's how to do this quietly, right? Without, like, everybody kind of, like, looking at you. That's what can sometimes be, you know, the challenge.
Okay, nothing, I guess.
There's a new Justice League trailer. I have not watched it. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Well, that got really botched. That did not go according to plan at all. Like, I mean, I really botched that. Oops. And now she got spooked. Well, now that the cat's out of the bag, we might as well, do it. Oh, that's gonna hurt. I don't have a melee weapon with me, but I have that. Remember, I can't kill anybody else. Look at all those people. How are you shooting me through the door? So what, they got confused now? Yeah, this one's complicated, like I said, because you cannot kill anybody else but your target. Oh, the briefcase right to the head. So those guys, I can't... Sorry, you're not invited. But no one said I couldn't, take their clothes. Nope. See? I can do this. Oh, shit. I got busted switching disguise. Damn it! Yes, Raj. What's up? Can't you see I'm in the middle of a gunfight?
Need to reload. Take him down. Take him down.
Oh, his legs are in the way. Yeah, I think I'm gonna die here. Yeah, I can't close the door, and I can't kill them. Yeah, I can't.
Open up those toolboxes. He's gonna be coming.
Oh! Oh, man. I can't hide in the closet. I'm, like, right here. I would have to, like, run out. Right now, I'm just trying to clear out these couple of people here.
You go. Flush him out.
Oh, wow, that looked painful. Oh, man. This is a challenge on its own. Don't let him take control of the situation. Yeah, I think I'm quite in control. Ooh, that's a nice outfit to get. If I can drag that guy in here, you know shit's hitting the fan when they bring in the elite guards. Oh, man. There's going to be so many bodies at the front door, nobody's going to be able to come in. If they accidentally shoot their own, which I don't know if they can do, that would be hilarious. Raj, I'm having fun. This is Hitman. This is Hitman. This isn't how you do it. Doesn't go in the same sentence. As long as I eliminate my targets. You know what I mean? And I follow the objective rules. That is how you do it. Oh, man. Raj, that's not how you do it. Hey, I'm having fun. Well, I hope you see me. Ouch. Oh. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, so when I lean up against the wall... Holy cow, there's a lot of people. Oh, man. How the hell are they even going to run in here? But there's one guy at the bottom who's got an elite suit. If I can get his outfit, oh, man, that's like a universal outfit. I could walk anywhere, just pop the next target, and then this contract is a bust.
Move in. Flush that punk out. Right over there.
Yeah, that was smart. Just run in. That's definitely not how people would do that in real life. They'd be throwing in gas grenades and shit, smoke bombs. That's how you actually flush someone out.
Target spotted.
Target spotted. Where's he aiming? But it isn't interesting to see them, like, in action. There's just so many people. Yeah, I definitely can't close the door. Yeah, I think you're too serious about this game. Oh. At this point, I'm probably going to end up being able to take out every single guard in Dubai. That's what's funny about this. Oh, man. He's like, Mama, help. I'm reaching out to you. That's not very elite-like of you. But I'm glad he's in... Oh, I died. I just couldn't take it anymore. Damn it. I really thought I was able to survive that. Holy cow, look at all those people. That's insane. To catch you during the day. Hello, Matthew. How's it going? Flashbang. Yeah, you kind of need justice. Raj, you're being a smartass. Does it look like I'm dead? I don't know about you, but I'm looking pretty good right now. I'm looking on top of my game. I might try a different approach. I forget if did I bring the... Oh, I did bring the coins with me. Good. I probably don't need that, to be honest with you, because I can't kill anybody but my targets anyways, or I fail automatically. But we need to take her out. Okay. There's no point... Well, I don't know if you're joking. Now, here's what I'm thinking. I somehow get a guard. It's going to sound bad, but you got to let me finish my sentence. We get one of the guards naked in here. And we don't strip him. And what we do is I run out, I pop her in the head, right? Cause a massive commotion. Oh my god, compromised the whole thing. I run in here, the guard's already knocked out. I strip him naked, I take his clothes, and I run out. So when I run out, they're all like, where is he? Where's the bald prick in the red suit? They don't see me. By the time they clue in that I took the other guy's clothes, I'm long gone. Right? Then I pop the other one in the head. Now I need to get another outfit. Anyways, just whatever. I like sort of like thinking like that sometimes, but not too hard. Especially during a stream. Oh, I've played Silent Assassin. I've done Silent Assassin on almost every single level. Sometimes I like being loud and, you know, whatever you want to call it. Like this guy, knocking this guy out isn't too good. Last, because if I knock this guy out... Anyways. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do something different. Now that worked well. That's what we're going to do. This is the Hitman way. Well, no, come into the room. See what I'm saying? Now, give me back my money. Right? That's how you do that. That's how you take out a couple of people. And then the other thing you can do is... we'll go to maybe this one. Because they'll never know who did it. Now we can go like this. Like that. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that'll alert him. I guess he doesn't care. No. So we'll turn that off. Come get the money. That somehow magically got stuck on the wall. Most enjoyable mission? Oh, I don't know. I like a lot of them. I really do like the Dartmoor mansion. There's just something about that I really like. Close the door. Ooh, that looked really, really devastating. Okay, here we go. Nobody's in here. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. I really, really hope nobody comes in here. What's your favorite mission? Or a map or whatever? Like, within Hitman 3. If it's within, like, the entire, you know, trilogy or whatever it's called. Oh, that's just too hard to do. 2 targets in Dartmoor because I feel like the mission can be very... Yeah, I mean, it can, but there's 2 things you've got to do. There. Don't have too much more time, by the way. It's been an hour. This is just for, like, shits and giggles. I don't think the target went over there. Does he come to the bathroom? I don't think anybody else comes to the bathroom. Ever. I don't think anybody does. Hello, Stotts. Yeah, Dubai is pretty nice. It's very big. It's clean. It's not too much of a maze. It's a nice weapon. It's a nice location. How do we entice this guard to come in here? I think we can. Nice, okay. Oh, wow, that broke. Oh, interesting. Do-do-do-do. I mean, he spotted me, but... I just hope nobody notices me playing with him. Yeah, we'll dump him in here. You can still grab his outfit. So that you can still do. I forget which one's the witness. It's the red one, yeah. So him we'll drag, and we'll dump him. Because they're actual witnesses, right? See, now there's no witnesses. Nobody knows that I'm the psycho. I'm glad they learned from their mistakes in Hitman 2, because the maps were... Yeah, some of the maps in 2 were big. Hey, Stotts, want me to tell you something different I did? I mean, I played some American Truck Simulator earlier. I am about to end the stream there, but I did something quite different, which is very, very important. I'm using the MacBook for YouTube, right, for the stream, so I can watch the chat, so that I don't have any web browsers open on my main computer. My main computer now only has one screen. I got rid of my monitor. I only have my 43-inch LG TV. I stored my monitor away. Having 2 monitors and having them extended does take a little bit more resources up. Not like a lot. Maybe just like an extra couple of percentage. If your computer's not 7 years old, you're not trying to do 2001 different things, it's probably never an issue. But yeah, apart from that, I'm not too bad. If you were in fact asking me how I was doing. See, so we can disguise ourselves as the security guard, even though event security or Event security. What? I don't want to... What happened to the... Oh, that can happen. See, event security. Well, which one's the event security? Oh, it is that one. Okay, good. So what we don't want to do is go out looking like this. What I could probably do is event staff. So anyways, I played American Truck Simulator. Things seem to be a little bit smoother. Obviously, Hitman's not an issue, and I am streaming at 30 frames, I get that. When it's console, I can stream at 60, no problem. But because I was playing some computer games, I just kind of like wanted to do like one thing at a time. So like later, if I end up streaming, I'll take it up a notch and I'll stream at 60. But to be honest with you, I'm not really worried about streaming at 60 if we're just chatting, hanging out. It's not like you're actually playing the game. I'm playing the game at 60. It's more about getting a consistent, reliable frames per second. You know what I mean? Who wants 60 if it's going to bounce down to 47 and back up to 60 if I can just lock it at 30 and have my computer a lot more stable? So getting rid of a monitor, having my MacBook out, it's making a huge difference. Again, this is a contract, and I cannot, under any circumstances, kill anybody else.
It's just a drink. You don't mind, do you? Oh, I really think you are putting on a brave face. You shouldn't be hiding back here. You should be out there celebrating life.
So that's who we have to kill. Ah, I could serve whiskey because I dressed up as a waiter, and I could poison her food or her drink.
Oh, don't be silly.
Oh, I always have trolls in my stream. Always. That never ends. Back up. You came to... I will knock your ass out, motherfucker. The other thing that's really important to note, which I keep forgetting to mention, well, I forgot to mention to you, Stotts, is, remember the sound crackling issue I was telling you that I would get after a couple of hours of my computer being on? And I constantly had to keep rebooting my computer. So my computer's been on for like 8 or 9 hours. I don't know, you tell me. Is my PlayStation crackling? Is my voice going... Exactly. I may have finally figured out what was causing my issue the whole time, but I'm not 100% sure.
Really worry about you.
Okay, this guy's pissing me off.
Do you see that? Oh, just a sec.
So there's many ways that I can approach this. I mean, that's one way. You're not going anywhere, pal. Oh, that's where I took too long. Yeah, wow, you die so fast. Yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna do these on my own, to be honest. I do so much better when I'm on my own. If I try too hard and I'm trying to do something that's not on casual and it's on professional, you get your ass kicked so quickly. Yeah, kinda. I mean, I'll figure out a little bit more today. I still have to do some more testing. I got a lot of cleaning up to do too. I do have to go anyways. I could have probably stayed a little bit longer, but now is probably a good time to go anyways because this is probably going to take me, even if I did pass it, a good 15, 20 minutes, and I want to be gone in like the next 5 or 10 anyways. So I'm probably just not going to bother with that mission. The main point of this stream was, as the title says, testing out my new setup. Oh, actually, I want to show you this, Dots, and anybody else that's in here. Yeah, I've streamed a lot of Assassin's Creed before Valhalla. It is a good game. I just don't know if I'm ever going to bother streaming it again or anytime soon. Yeah, no, there's nothing I even want from these contracts, to be honest. But yeah, I do have to get going. I have an Elgato software. Can you see that, Stotts, or anybody else? I don't need a second monitor to tell me if I'm streaming or not. They're all animated. I can push those buttons. I can make it do whatever I want. Load a web browser, stop the stream, start the stream, turn it on and off my light, record or anything. Longest I've streamed, oh, no idea. But yeah. Anyway, so this is huge. This is now my second monitor, if that makes any sense. Because of the app and everything's Wi-Fi. It's insane. But yeah. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. Like I said, yeah, 1:15. The quicker I get this done, maybe the quicker I can come back, which I would like to do once I figure out more like what I want to do. Like I said, the title of this was just testing out my new setup, which I'm kind of doing. This is like completely different. Only one screen for my gaming, a completely separate laptop for the YouTube chat part, and then using this instead of a monitor to make sure that my microphone's on, that I'm actually currently live, that I'm recording, let's say, or whatever, right? Because right now, if I was recording this, where's the OBS signal with the red light telling me that I'm recording? Well, it's right here on the screen. If I was. You see what I'm saying? This is essentially a dock, by the way, if you've ever heard of like a streaming dock. Some fancy YouTubers and streamers use them. They push buttons, they do all different things, and they can do silly stuff because they program the keys to do certain things. Well, that's what this is, but it's $4 a month Canadian or $32 a year Canadian. It's subscription based, kind of dumb. Or I can buy a 6-key physical USB key dock for $100 Canadian, a 15 key for $200, or a 32 key one for $350. And each button is animated like it's a black screen. And whatever program you link to it, it'll link the icon to it and it'll be like animated and it'll like glow and shit like that. So you'll know that it's on, whatever it is you're trying to do. It's really insane. So it's essentially like every button has its own mini LCD screen, if you know what I mean. But yeah. Anyhow, thanks for stopping by. And like I said, I know I said this yesterday and I wasn't, but if all goes well, I could be back within the hour. But I want to do some cleaning up, tidying up and shit. And yeah. Hopefully I shall be back soon.